Are you ready for this? I really am going to answer the universal question. Why? Is this a holographic universe? Who are we? What are we? Why are we here? I'm going to answer that question for you. Yeah, it's a big one. Are you ready for it? Come on with me and learn about why we're here. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. Why are we here? People say, what's my purpose? I'm thinking, let's ask the bigger question. Why are we even here? What are we? What the heck is this? It doesn't feel very good. Yeah, purposeful. I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask you a question right now, and then we're going to go into the holographic universe because that's exactly what we are. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So we aren't this. Right? We can't be. It's impossible. Science already knows that. Science has proven that we are a, let's just say, holographic universe. And our existence is holographic simply because it's interchangeable. That time is, there's no such thing as time actually. And that we do not really exist of anything other than space, vibrations and frequencies. All right, so holographic means that we are energy fields, not these bodies, so these bodies must be something else. And that quantum physics proves that we are in control of our realities, the energy fields around us, our own existence, and way beyond. Okay, so there are questions I cannot answer today because no one has those answers. So let me have a sip of coffee because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you some questions and see what you have to say about this. It's a beautiful fall day here in Atlanta. All right, have you ever watched a scary movie? Yeah, right, we all have. Did you scream in it? Did you get scared? Like a good one. I'm talking about a really good one, you know, something like, why did I go? I don't want to go see it. And then you go buy a ticket. You actually spend money and you go buy a ticket, you see the movie. And then what happens when you go home? 9 times out of 10, you're like a little nervous, right? You might even sleep with the light on. Maybe it'll affect you for weeks to come. All right, so what is that? You know it's a movie. You know they're actors. You know you're going to get scared even though you have this information anyways. And you know when you go home, nothing changed. But you go home and you feel scared anyways. Right? Now we're going to go into that as far as how you're living your life too, because this is super important. Why do we go on roller coasters? Why do we climb Mount Everest? Why do we jump out of planes? Why do we do anything that's scary? Why do we train and put our bodies through unbelievable pain to run a marathon or get in the Olympics or compete in anything? Why do we do any of these things? Why do we put ourselves through things that are sometimes life-threatening? And the final result might be that we lose our lives. There's bodies up on Mount Everest that'll never come down because nobody can really, truly, at least at this point, bring them down safely. Why is that? That's exactly what we're doing here as human beings. Because we love to know the contrast, because we love to be excited, because we want to know what all of that is. Why do we go to the dark side? Why do we explore it? Because we do. We all do. There are things we do with every part of our lives, and everyone has done them. From taking drugs to, you know, overdoing and overindulging in things that aren't good for us. Everything is simply contrast. Now, I'll tell you something. All right, so we're gonna dig deeper into this. You cannot know what health is until you have been ill, right? And then all of a sudden you're really thankful to be well again. I remember I have motion sickness, not so much now, but I had motion sickness as a child. Some of you probably have had this, right? And my brother knew this, and we would go to amusement parks, and my brother had to have me get on the tilt-a-whirl. You gotta get on the tilt-a-whirl. If you don't know what that is, you get into this like little, teacups, and then you all get in a circle, and it starts and it's going around, but then it spins each. This is fun, right? So I did it because he talked me into it. And when I got off the ride, of course, I was so sick. And I threw up on his shoes. He deserved it. I didn't do that purposely, by the way. Why did I do that? And why did he want me to do it? Sometimes you go on the ride and you throw up. And you know you're going to throw up. And you know you're going to get sick. And you do it anyways. And sometimes it's because other people pressure you. This is your life. We are the ultimate peace and unconditional love. And so by exploring all of these other things, we're just getting on the tilt-a-whirl. That's all we're doing. Because then when I recovered, I'll never get on the tilt-a-whirl again. Some people will get on the tilt-a-whirl again, even though they know what the consequences are going to be, right? And then you climb Mount Everest, you die. I'd rather die up on Mount Everest than sitting in my living room eating Cheetos, watching the news and complaining about the world. Some people want to go out that way, all right? So my question to you is, what are you doing in your life that has pushed you to that extreme? Or what have you ever done? Like, okay, I'll ask you why you watch the news. You know it's not real. You know it's just all conditioning. It's all controlled. Who do you think owns all the media, right? I mean, get a clue, right? We all know this. Yet we do it anyways. And then that energy field, like you bring it home, just like when after a movie, you don't want to shut the light off because now you're thinking there's a boogeyman in the room. It's the same thing. You're allowing that energy field in, and everything is just an energy field, frequency, vibration. So if you go into that lower frequency, you're now in a lower density. But we explore it, and we've been exploring it. The planet's been exploring it because we will not know what awakening is unless we go into the darkness in these, let's just say in these bodies, in this facade, in this avatar. All right, why do we play games where you can get destroyed? Let's get there. Oh, and you start again. This is what we do our entire lives. We're always going to achieve something, explore, experience. That's all we're doing, trying to feel good again. And then it doesn't work. And then we know what it's like to, lose love or lose somebody that you cared about through death or a pet or whatever. Everything is just an exploration of contrast. It's experiencing everything it can be. And you're one of those avatars. In a moment, in no time. That's it. Don't put too much meaning. So what we're doing here as avatars on a planet that has been in the lower, has been experiencing that and delving in it too deeply for too long, right? Well, that's not even right or wrong either. But let's say, it's time for the collective saying, okay, we played that game a little too long. It's been too destructive. And so other people, you're one of them, has come here to say, we're going to change the game. We're going to change this game because we've had enough of that. So we want that contrast again of what is it like to pull out of that. This is the biggest challenge of all, is to pull out of the darkness back into the light because we know the darkness too well. Enough of the scary, you wouldn't watch scary movies every single day and that's all you would do, right? After a while it's like, okay, this isn't feeling good. It's getting a little too dark. And you'd want, to watch Hallmark or my movie, a happy movie where you're like, oh, there's a challenge in there. There's something sad. There's conflict. And then there's always an amazing ending, right? This is our life. This is all we're doing. This is it. Don't put too much thought into why this and why. Oh my God, get out of your head. Stop thinking and go, okay, woo, tilt-a-whirl, roller coaster. Mount Everest. Okay, I may not come back from this. That's it. Why aren't you enjoying this? Experience the contrast. Okay, this is what it's like to feel loss and to be sad. This is what it's like to lose a loved one. This is what it's like to feel like there's an ending to something, because we don't know what that is. When you are out of this body, there's no ending to anything. But you can't experience that unless you come into a body believing that you're limited. Does this make sense? So we're now understanding that we're not. But we're still not really grasping that. And so many of you say, oh, I know this and I'm awake. And then you'll ask me a question that's totally ego-based. And I'm thinking we're so trapped in our own, energy fields of being human in the materialistic world. And you're not any of that. Can you enjoy this? I just went up and put my makeup on. I put makeup on for you now, right? If you watch my old videos, I never used to do that. We evolve as people. What am I doing? I'm exploring different things. Have you ever noticed my hair changes constantly? Why? Because I like the contrast. We like to explore things. Nothing stays the same, and we get so upset when things change. Hello? McFly, nothing stays the same. The universe is expanding at all times. The galaxies are moving away from us faster than the speed of light. Remember when there was nothing faster than the speed of light? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. There are no limits. Oh, yeah, God, the ultimate source of everything that is everything, only can go as fast as the speed of light. I mean, come on. This is human thinking. It's so limiting. Get out of this. It's a hologram. You are not a solid human being. We have to believe this to play the game. So why do we do all this stuff? Why do we argue? Why do we do anything? It's the contrast of everything that we can possibly be, but that we are not actually from. And when I say from, of course we are from that, but we are not that frequency. All right, so we won't know it. We won't know that contrast of how amazing. So when you go to the other side, people have near-death experiences. What do they say? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Well, how would they know that if they had been in it the whole time? They wouldn't know. They're just like, this is my state of being. They wouldn't know happiness. You wouldn't know happiness if you've been happy all the time. Until something happens when you're, let's go back to that, get back to that. So we're always striving to get back to that, right? This is why so many people are striving to go into awakening. They're so done with the contrast of lower frequencies, yet they continue to really be the source of the problem. Or the challenge, I should say. It's not a problem. It's a problem for them if they don't want it. It's tough to let that go. So this is the biggest challenge that you will ever have, is to recognize that that energy field is still with you. When you go see that movie and you come home, you don't forget it, right? You're looking under the bed. You might have the nightlight on. You might feel like there's a negative energy in the room, or ooh, and it's going to be with you. You might have weird dreams. Those are real. You know why? That energy field is with you. That's real stuff. So don't ignore it. That's how powerful what you focus on is. And so if you are always watching the negativity, that energy field is a part of your energy field. So we're all connected. We're just one thing. But we have concentrations of energy fields that have no barrier between us. They are all part of one, but you have a concentration of an energy field that you get to experience as this individual human being, of which we're not. We're getting to know what it's like to be an individual. That's not a concept that we know when we are from the ultimate. Now you'll go over as seemingly individual energy over on the other side, but that's because you're not back to the one, not completely back to the one. You go higher, there's nothing, there's no differentiation between anything. It's one just perfect energy field. It's just unconditional love. It's bliss beyond comprehension, beyond human description or explanation. So we're going to go back to that. Don't worry about it. That's what you are. So get out of your head This is so temporary. Oh, we're gonna die. People die. So, okay, so who was it? We had the Justice Ginsburg, just died. And so I said to I didn't know that because I don't watch the news. And my friend said, well, Ginsburg just died. I said, well, how old was she? And she, 87. I said, okay. So now we're making a big deal after she's dead? So why don't we do this when people are alive? Oh, we make a big... You didn't even think about this woman for the last 40 years of your life. And now all of a sudden it's a big deal. Okay, so we're not celebrating ourselves while we're here together. We wait till somebody dies to make a big deal out of it. We're the weirdest damn species in the universe. We really are. We're so messed up. Not really. We're exploring that. We're exploring being messed up. I look at human. I'm sitting there thinking, somebody said, oh, I'm so depressed today. I said, what? She's had cancer. She's been in the hospital for how long? You weren't depressed about that. She's finally blissful on the other side. Now you're going to allow that to bother you? Okay. Now, yes, we can mourn other people. That's part of experience too, is to mourn loss, because there's no loss on the other side. You don't lose anybody. You can't, there's no death. We just transform, we experience, we do things here, we play out a role. It's a hologram. This is why things are shifting. Like some of you guys are experiencing the shift in the hologram, quantum leaps and all this stuff. That's because it's not real. There are glitches in the universe, and that's coming from us too. So the more we focus and believe on certain things, the more we create it. So you're totally in control of your reality. And you chose to experience limitations and feelings and sadness and pain and illness and all those things. Quit labeling it. It's temporary. All right? So something doesn't feel very good. You can also control that. So if you're done with it and you're like, okay, I've had enough of this, then your lesson, your experience would be to master this. Okay, now I'm going to go into a higher frequency. I'm going to master. I'm going to learn how to heal myself. All right, so I know illness and all this. Okay, I know what that is. What did I learn from it? Did other people learn from being around me as an ill person? That might be your role that you chose. So, dear person, dear light being, get over yourself. All right, yeah, we've all been through something. Somebody said, I always place my ads. You guys see my ads. I have to place them publicly on my channels, just so you know. I have to do that. If I'm going to place a paid ad, I have to put it on my channel and make it public, so you'll see that show up once in a while. I'm helping people to get out of situations and learn new skills. Internet marketing, this is what you see all the time. I'm like, take control of your life. Get skills, get knowledge. What's so scary about that? But I see that people are constantly in fear of change and expansion, right? You're going to kick yourself when you, at the end of the day, and you go, why did I do that? I had the power of the universe, and I was like, I stayed there. Because you're choosing limitations. You're choosing to believe that you're poor little me, and you don't have the advantage of somebody else. It's a crock of crap. You know that. I think the top brain surgeon in the United States is a black man from horrible background. I think they were homeless at one point. Single mother, trying to support them, working God knows how many jobs. Broke. I think he ended up going to Harvard, and he's one of the top brain surgeons. How does that happen? He made it happen. He didn't feel sorry for himself. He used that contrast to come out of it to be something amazing, which is a demonstration to all of us. So many of those stories, right? So get out of your head and me, and you had these advantages, and because that's an excuse for you to wallow in your sadness and self-pity, and that's the ego. Poor little me. It's time for you to say what is available to me, anything. It's going to take work. I think this is the big deal. A lot of you just don't want to put the work in. Every single thing you do counts. If you are contributing to or to pain of the planet at all with what you eat, what you do, everything, I'm seeing places like Pottery Barn is instead of putting their stuff in landfills, they're reworking all of the stuff that comes back or is defective. They're using sustainable things, organic, no cruelty to anything. And I'm seeing big changes happening right now. Big, 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 big. Are you a part of that? You know what? If you stop using plastic, you just contributed something huge. Don't underestimate what you are. So if you tell me any sad story, talk to the hand, because I know that we're equally powerful and we all have different roles and different things that we chose to experience, and you can do anything you want with it. And you are here at this time period right now for a very specific reason. So once you've gotten on the tilt-a-whirl and you figured out that it doesn't feel good and you're going to throw up on your brother's shoes, which is, by the way, cause and effect for him. He talked me into it, so he had to deal with the consequences of that. Then it's time to get busy, right? Stop doing stupid stuff. And so the thing is that, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to be the solution to the contrast that we're ready to pull out of? Because the planet, she is done. She's done with us. You know what awakening is? You won't have to ask. You'll know. You become an observer and a solution, and you become an active person who will evolve through that. So you evolve when you contribute to the planet in the highest frequency, and you shut the garbage down and stop complaining and blaming it. Nobody in power is in charge of you. That's a load of hooey too. Let them know what we want, and they will be forced to make positive changes. Right now, they're acting out of density because we've allowed it. It's not their fault. We're part of the collective that is responsible for everything. No opposition. Oppose nothing. Do it in peace, right? If you want to make a statement, do it in peace. That'll get more attention than anything, right? We see people in Turkey, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of people saying nothing, standing in just silence. It's powerful. Yeah, right? I mean, think about the history, especially in the Bible, where, there were impossible odds and armies were defeated. How was that possible? They got really clever and smart. You don't need the N-word, right? We don't need anything. You possess amazing powers. You just have to tap into them, learn how to use them, explore them on the highest frequency. No more excuses. Every thought, every poor little me is just you choosing something lower. And that won't exist in the new earth. It's already happening. The shift is already happening. It has been happening. By the way, those of you saying the Mayans got it wrong, the Mayans didn't get anything wrong. Only humans have misinterpreted anything that they have done. No one knows the final day of this planet, and it's a long way off, I guarantee you. It's a long way off. We individually get to choose what this plays out like, because you will not hear rock and roll if you're tuned into classic. You won't hear it. And that's how the new earth, and that's what the new earth is. It's just a higher frequency, and you will exist in a different reality on the same planet, and you just won't see the things that are going on. In fact, you will be part of the peace that takes people to something so amazing you can't even possibly imagine. Isn't that exciting? Are you ready for that? Hey guys, everybody who's subscribed or wants to subscribe, can you please subscribe? People are being unsubscribed on YouTube, and I don't know why. They didn't do it, so please subscribe. My subscriber base, I see all these people subscribing and the numbers going down. I'm like, what is doing that? Because YouTube's unsubscribing people. I think maybe if you've been on a long time or you haven't watched a video. So please subscribe. Please share these videos. We're going to spread the word, and those who choose it get to, and if they don't, we're not here to judge that. You guys, I have courses, landriaonkka.com. I've got Shift into the New Earth Masterclass, Shift into the New Earth Workshop are the most recent ones. I'm going to be doing some new things for you. We're going to use the power of numbers, which counts. This, guys, is my business one. This is the internet marketing. This is a free workshop if you want to explore it and see how to get new skills online, like I did 6 years ago when everyone went, oh, online business, and now it's like, oops, this stuff's powerful. You know, it's what you do with anything, right? You can use a jump rope to have fun, or you can strangle somebody with it. I mean, everything is what you do with it. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Spiritual butt kick today. What's new, right? Namaste.